Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
And I am not Gary Wellings. I'm much better looking, but I'm not Gary Wellings. This is Pastor Rick, and Phil is filling in with us. Hey, folks, cruise into the best deal. Get out on the water, book your summer rental now. And where do you book your summer rental now? You go to Claves Marina, which is on 8789 McGregor Road, Pinckney. And they have boats there. You can rent them. Hey, you can even buy a boat there. I'll bet if you go in there and ask nice enough, they'll sell you one. And they've got a great selection. I tell you what, the very first pontoon boat I ever got was from them, and it was a great pleasure. So if you're looking for a boat and you want to buy one, go down to Claves. And if you just want a boat for a weekend, hey, they'll rent one to you, and they're right there on the lake. So you can go out and do some fishing, just some nice cruising on the lake. Nothing better than that, is there?
No way.
So now that I sit there and told everyone the fact that I'm better looking than Gary Welling, he must have heard me. He was on his way to Comic-Con, I think. And hey, Gary, how are you doing?
Good, Pastor Rick. Phil, thank you for filling in for me. I know
Sure.
it was kind of a last-minute thing, and no, I'm not going to Comic-Con.
What is wrong with you?
I was in Comic-Con in San Diego once. And it was a strange time to be in San Diego, I can assure you. But
it's always a strange time to be in San Diego.
Yeah, no, when things get tough, the tough go surfing, and so I'm heading down to Daytona area in Florida, where I keep a quiver of boards, and I'm going to do a little soul searching in the water down there. And
fantastic,
yeah.
So thanks so much for you guys. How's that? How's the gig going down at for Patrick Colbeck?
Talked to Linda. She talked to us just before it kicked off. She said there was a lot of people, invited more down there. Fayron's going to be emceeing there, so that's going to be a good time just in that. But better than that, our future governor, Patrick Colbeck. If you want a conservative, you can't pick a better person than Patrick Colbeck, can you?
No, that's exactly right. I mean, it's common sense, and you know what? He's actually a rocket scientist, right?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Putting somebody into office who actually has a brain, and of all the politicians we've ever met, I think in Michigan anyways, Patrick Colbeck is a guy who's not in it for himself. He's not in it for special interests. He's in it for the people and to do what's best and what's common sense. And it's just amazing. If you don't know Patrick Colbeck, you must get out
to know.
Meet him, see him. He's the real deal.
And he's willing to get to know people. That's the wonderful thing about it. The people here, I know him very well. I've known him since 2010. You know, future Governor Colbeck. You know that he's the real deal, and he's not about playing politics. That is not his agenda.
And he's not a nerd.
Yeah, well, the nerd that we have in office isn't a real nerd, all right? He's been a disappointment to nerds worldwide.
Yeah.
So,
Rhino Rick has been just a devastatingly bad for the Republican Party in Michigan. We had an opportunity to do so many things in Michigan, and between the rhinos in the Senate and in the House, and Rhino Rick as governor, they really screwed it up. And I don't have a whole lot of good thoughts for the 2018 election in Michigan. I really don't. I think the Democrats are going to make a comeback because the Republicans just screwed things up so royally. It's travesty. It really is.
well, you know, after doing Linda's show, one person called in after Linda called in, and he didn't go on air, but he made the statement that he never gave us a reason, and I'd love to hear that reason, but he says he could never vote for Colbeck. I mean, who else do you have on the platform that's running that could make a good governor? Don't tell me Brian Kelly. He's been a sellout time. He's a bigger sellout than Rhino Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if a person can say they would never vote for Patrick Colbeck, they don't know Patrick Colbeck. A, they didn't follow his the way he has voted. B, and they just got their heads up their behind see, because Patrick Holbeck is a great guy filled with common sense. And if they had taken any of his ideas in the last 4 years, Michigan would be a lot better place, but they didn't.
Hey, I want you to hold on, Gary. I'm going to look at Derek. And Derek, was that the person who called last hour? Is that the person who called the last hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, can you stay on the line? We can greet this caller all together. Is he coming on the air?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not the guy who called in. It's just Ed.
Oh, it's just Ed. Oh, okay, Ed can wait. So what else is going on? What else is going on there, Gary?
I'm going to make one last statement to you before I leave, because I'm going to let you run the show, is why do South Carolinians drive so terribly? This is the second time I've come this way to Florida, and I-26 is a beautiful piece of road. It's straight, it's flat, it's wonderful, and it's filled with accidents all the time. I can't believe people drive so terribly in South Carolina.
Do you know Michigan?
So there you go. I'm passing on my South Carolinian listeners if there are any.
Well, don't go yet. Let me tell you this. Michigan just won an award of having the most polite, nicest drivers out of all the states. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that.
And on that note, we lost Gary. He must have been.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here? Yeah, you're broken up a little bit. Did you hear my statement?
All right, well, I'm going to let you go because I've got some driving to do. And thanks again, Pastor Rick and Phil, for doing this. And I'll see you guys. I'll call in next week.
All right.
All right.
Well, then I guess we'll talk to Ed. Take it easy, Gary. Hey, Ed. We are enthused to talk to you today. How are you doing, Ed?
Oh, yeah. I can feel the love. It's just Ed. I want to thank Phil for filling in for me.
All right.
Hey, I tell you, I mean, I love my wife, but I have to say this. Phil is much better looking than you, Ed.
Hey, man, I've done 26 a number of times to Daytona or Jacksonville, and it's a breeze compared to 80 out to Connecticut here.
Oh, you're heading to what part of Connecticut?
I'm at Groton. I had to inspect my son's Virginia-class submarine yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time in Torrington, Connecticut.
Well, yep, there you go, right around the block. I'm actually staying right in Stonington right now, and it's wonderful.
Yep, I love Connecticut. Connecticut is a beautiful state, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely lovely. Driving up and down the Connecticut River is so full of history. Mm-hmm. There's a ferry crossing. There's the old stone walls. Just the Revolutionary War is everywhere here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
If you ever want to do a history tour, and you're into the Civil War, you're going to spend all your. I mean, there's a little bit you can do in like Michigan and stuff like that. Michigan has a little bit to offer in that line, but really, you want to get to Pennsylvania, Connecticut, East Coast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, have you been watching the AMC series Turn?
No.
Oh, I highly recommend that. It's about Washington's espionage agency, the spy agency that was set up against the British.
Right.
It's based on a true story.
Right.
It's very, very good, and it's all set in this area, also Long Island and Connecticut. And it's great. Hey, I got to say one more thing before I go. Okay.
You say as many as you want because you kind of co-host this show anyway, so it's kind of like your show, and we could not let you speak.
Ready? The news you need to know.
Okay.
Okay, great. Hey, you guys enjoy. I'll be listening. Thanks.
Oh, you had one more thing you wanted to say. What's that?
The news you need to know.
Oh. That was kind
That's
of
all
like...
Gary lets me say. So...
I get it now. Oh,
okay.
Wow, that went right over my head. You'd almost think I'm a blonde. I am. So a lot going on this week in news. Gary Spicer.
Yeah.
Out. Who didn't see that coming, really?
Sean Spicer.
Sean Spicer. I'm thinking Gary Wellings. Yeah. But Spicer's out. Who didn't see that coming? Really, it's been you haven't seen him around much.
Well, I hope that it's a preview of what's to come. Right. Because I see the Democrats just running over the Republicans. They're in charge. They are the majority, and they are just being overrun.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And it might be collusion in my estimation.
I think there's a lot of people in the Republican Party that would like to see it go back to the way it was before Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that they would be very happy getting a Democrat in there rather than keeping Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I really believe
because
that.
they have to do something.
Well, it's because it's hurting their agenda.
Well, look, the health care thing with the Medicare Part D was set up by Billy Tozan, former Louisiana congressman from Louisiana, but he was also a former Democrat for a number of years.
Right.
He switched parties under George Bush. Yeah. This guy set up Part D, and the corruption that went along with that sets up Obamacare and the push eventually to single payer. There was money, and I got somewhere, right in here.
Yeah, you pull that stack out. While you're pulling that out, let me make one more comment.
Sure.
Totally not related to that, but something I'm very happy to announce.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Scarborough left the Republican Party. I wish we could get some applause up for that. Joe Scarborough left the Republican Party.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Best thing that could have happened to the Republican Party if we want to go in a more conservative way. Joe, the Democrats will love you.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Right. Now, I was going to say, we should all go out and cry and everything because Joe left it. Who cares?
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad.
There's just some clubs that I belong to that I don't want him in, and one is my political party.
Well, that's you probably ascribe to the Groucho Marx. I wouldn't want to be a part of any organization that would let me in.
Well, unfortunately, I have to be part of that organization that you're in because, they pay me to be here with you.
But Joe Scarborough, I mean, I was aware of him when he was in Congress, and I did not like him then. No. I don't like him now, and I probably will never like the guy.
No, he's always been the clubhouse Republican, so to speak.
And he looks the part.
Yeah. You hang out at yacht clubs and rub elbows with Mr. Howell and his wife, after they got back from their 3-hour tour. And get more vague. Yeah, but Joe Scarborough, hey, glad you're out.
Yeah.
So now that I totally derailed your thought on Obamacare, let's get back to Obamacare.
Yeah. One of the things that it says here, this is from May 2006.
Okay.
And this was shortly after they recognized the fact that he had, just sold everybody out, really. But the
we're talking about the congressman from Louisiana.
Yeah, Billy Tozan.
Yeah.
He could have made the thing a lot better than what he did, and if he had of, he would have been a hero. But what he wanted was to corrupt and influence legislation that corrupted and influenced the system for years to come.
Right.
And that's what he did. It says here that in 1998 through 2005, drug companies gave $87 million in federal campaign contributions to the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans got 69%, and 31% went to the Democrats. That was the cut, the split.
Right.
But that was just for things to come. I heard the idea that there was $2 billion split up.
Earlier today on Dick Kupke's show, Trigger Talk, he made the point that these liberals, they're patient.
Yes, they are.
They're very patient. What Bill Nye the Science Guy said, if they're going to get anything through for global warming, that we just need to wait for all the old people to die, and then they can get the young people to do it. That is the mentality. I mean, China used to have that mentality. We don't need to conquer the world overnight.
Yeah.
They've got a long-term plan.
Exactly.
And they can do it little bits at a time.